Okay, here we are. Not a video that I really wanted to do, um, but the stars aligned for me to have this pistol in front of me at such a time as this. And so here we are. We're going to talk about the SIG P320. So you guys know that I'm not the guy who just jumps on bandwagons and whatever the new hotness is or the hot topics of the day. I'm just not interested in that. I'm interested in what I'm interested in, but you guys know what's going on with SIG, okay? They're in a lot of hot water. There's a lot going on, and there seems to be, every week it feels like, some new event that happens with these pistols, and then there's some subsequent letter from some agency saying, we're investigating this, stop using these pistols, okay? And it's just happening and happening and happening. And so I'm going to tell you kind of the impression that I have, what my gut tells me, and I would probably guess that you guys are smart people. That's probably what your gut is telling you as well. And how do we navigate this? So this particular pistol is my buddy's and, my best friend in the whole world. And this guy, he heard about what's going on with SIG and very promptly just handed it to me. He's like, I can't carry this. I don't feel safe with this. And he's like, do you want to do a video on it until I figure out what I'm going to do? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know really what to say, but for sure, I think it's worth talking about while I have one to talk about. So this is an early model SIG. He got this when they kind of first came out. And he is in contact with SIG right now, and they have like a free upgrade program to supposedly fix whatever might be wrong with these early models, but frankly, I don't think it's just the early models. So I've spent the past few days just kind of like looking it over and, I don't know, getting a feel for it. And, I don't really know, man. I thought about taking it out and shooting it. But I'll be honest with you guys, I frankly just don't feel comfortable putting a round in this thing's chamber at all. So let's just get into it. I'm going to be really broad here. This isn't going to be a super produced video. I'm not going to have any shooting footage. I know that would be really interesting for everyone to see, but I'm just not really in the mood to be shooting one of these right now. So, look, I think when you take a step back and you look at the big picture, what do we know? What we know is there are many cases of these pistols going off in approved holsters in law enforcement capacities and civilian capacities with no explanation. Now, some of them, people try to explain it. They try to say there was something in the way or somebody jammed a finger in there, and that could be true. But I think two things are true. I think there's two real explanations for what's going on here. One is these pistols, for whatever reason, are very easy to have negligent discharges with. And I think the other option, the other phenomenon that's going on, is there is something in the design where the pistols are going off, in holsters. Particularly yesterday, today's 7/23/2025. Yesterday, a letter came out from the Air Force, I believe, where an Air Force officer, I think, was picking up a 320 in a holster, round in the chamber, and he shot somebody else and killed them through the holster, not touching the trigger. That's what's reported, okay? And so I think we have two phenomenons. It is easy to have negligent discharges with, but then there's this other thing that's happening, and it's something that SIG has been trying to put a lid on for the past couple years. It's something that the people who have their pride tied up into this pistol are trying to explain away. But I don't think you can explain it away anymore. I think this pistol is legitimately unsafe. And I don't see this phenomenon where it seems at regular intervals other pistols are going off in holsters seemingly unmolested. And so I think there's a legitimate problem. Now, you guys can debate which one's the bigger issue. Is it negligent discharges, or is it them going off by themselves? I don't know the ratio. I'm not here to litigate that. Frankly, I don't really care. But what I know is between those two issues, there is enough phenomenon staring me in the face to say, I don't want this. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to load it. I think there's a problem. So if you guys go back to my video where I talked about this pistol, the Glock 19, I said in that video that everybody is trying to be Glock. SIG, CZ, Palmetto's little pistol, everybody's trying to make their own Glock 19. And they're trying to sell you on the fact that it's like a Glock 19, but better. And I just disagree. Just like pistols for generations have been trying to supplant the 1911. Oh, it's got a 1911 trigger, but it's better. Oh, it's double stack, and oh, it's this, and it's slim like a 1911. It's like the chicken and fish argument. Don't tell me it tastes like chicken, because I'm just going to eat the chicken, right? Why should I go for the guy imitating what was good in the first place? And that's how I feel about the 320 and every other pistol in its class. They're all just trying to be the Glock. And so I don't know why we have this impulse that we have to go past the thing that everybody's trying to emulate. Why not go for the GOAT? Go for the real. Look, if you just go down the list, all the metrics by which you would measure a pistol: weight, cost, durability, number of parts, ease of use, how easy are they to work on, reliability. You know, if you made a chart of every metric, dimensions, physical dimensions, like Glock does it better as a whole than everybody else. Now, you might be able to come along, fly in sideways and say, yeah, but this pistol in this one metric is better than Glock. Okay, but take the whole. Look at all the metrics, all of them. Glock still beats everybody. Okay, your pistol doesn't have finger grooves. Guess what? Glock has options for that. You can get one without finger grooves. Oh, your pistol has a better grip angle. Okay, cool. Well, there's back straps that you can get that change the grip angle. Oh, well, yours carries 2 more bullets. Cool story. You can get magazine extensions. You can use Glock 17 mags with a spacer at the bottom. You can even get a Glock that has a Glock, a longer frame and the shorter slide. Like, the options exist. So every approach that somebody's going to take and tell me that these other copies are better, I'm going to respond with, no, it's not. And I'm just being objective. This isn't a preference thing. Now, if you just preferentially dislike the Glock, I can't touch that. Okay, that's your own personal preference, and I'm not going to fight you about that. But why am I talking about Glocks in reference to SIGs? Well, because this is what you get, in my opinion, when you keep trying to supplant the GOAT. Now, here's the interesting thing about Glock. Glocks weren't trying to supplant anybody. They were just trying to make a good pistol. And this is what you get when you have copycats. The nature of a copycat is one of weakness. You're already on your heels and on the back foot when you're coming from that perspective, I think, in life in general. It's part of human nature, I think. I think people just like to not have the mainstream thing. They'd like to have the alternative. They like the underdog. But I think if you can break out of that and just realize that actually Glock is quite a good pistol and quite a safe pistol, we'd stop chasing down pistols like these. And particularly, look, why did the 320 get so popular? Because SIG has a CEO that understands marketing. Let's go back to Kimber. He was the former CEO of Kimber. Go to a gun magazine or a gun website and see if you can find a website that doesn't have full-page ads from Kimber. They're the most advertised 1911 in the whole world, and it's not even close. There is no competition. They spend money on advertising. SIG has taken on the same thing. You can't get away from SIG ads. They are absolutely everywhere. And here's what I think. I think they went after the military contract, not just because it's a big, juicy contract, But then they can have the cool guy claim that their pistol's the standard issue military pistol, and then everybody's going to want one because for some reason we want the lowest bidder garbage that the military tends to buy nowadays. That doesn't make it a good pistol. And now we have the proof. So, look, my overall feeling on the 320 is you guys need to be aware that marketing works. I know everybody wants to think that they're smarter than the marketing people who literally spend every day, all day, thinking how to manipulate us out of our money. But you're not. I'm not. None of us are. We're all susceptible to marketing. And the reality is, SIG is a well-marketed pistol. And they got where they are because of marketing, not because they're actually good pistols. And now we have proof, or seeming proof. We're going to find out. There's investigations underway. I don't think they're as good as they report to be. And if you ask me, I think we should stop trying to replace the stuff that works, stop trying to fix what's not broken, go with a Glock. The military should have went with a Glock. Government agencies all over the world, police agencies all over the country and all over the world should have stuck with Glock. They should not have departed from Glocks. Now, I'm not saying Glocks are perfect. I know they've had problems. I have personally watched a Glock 22 at a police pistol range frag itself. I've seen it. I've seen the front lug on Glocks break. I have seen the barrel lugs shear off on 40 cal Glocks. They have problems. I'm not denying that. But all guns do. You can't find a gun that doesn't have problems. And it's funny. I did have one guy message me and say, well, this is why I only carry a $5,000 pistol. And he's talking about a Nighthawk. And I sent him a picture of a fragged Nighthawk. Literally, the thing's fragged right down the middle of the slide. It just blew up. No gun is perfect. Just like the case I make for 1911s, that we have this huge history showing us over time. We have this giant survey of what we know about the pistol. The same is true with Glock. We have a massive set of data over decades about Glock. We know what they're capable of, and we know the problems they tend to have, and we know all the little idiosyncrasies about them, and they are just the better pistol. So my thoughts on the 320, guys, I'm just not into it. I don't want to shoot it, and generally, you're not going to find me... I'm just not interested in going and reviewing pistols that are trying to copy the one that got it right in the first place. I'm not interested. So if it were me, I would be trying to offload my 320 as quickly as I could. I know several people who own 320s, and they went into gun shops locally here, and the gun shops won't take them. Not for any money. Not pawn shops. Nobody will take these guns because people are starting to get it. And so what do I think about the 320? Not for me. Not for me. So there you go, everybody. Those are my thoughts on the 320. Generally, the way I think, guys, when I find something that works, I go, okay, that works. And when I see people come in and try to bring an alternative for alternative's sake, I just don't bite. I don't take the bait. And I always ask the question, why did you invent an alternative? What was wrong with this to begin with? And at the end of the day, what you really get down to is people just want to sell stuff. That's really it. That's really it. So anyway, I hope you found that informative. I know this is a hot topic. And listen, you guys who carry 320s, don't get your feelings hurt. Okay? I know you're probably going to say, well, I've been carrying mine with no problem. Okay, man. Like, there's also people running around there with an engine knock in their truck and saying, wow, mine still drives. Okay, good luck. I wouldn't get on a long stretch of highway without a gas station in sight, personally. But anyway, all right, we'll see you guys next time. Ditch the 320.